Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation on the roles and responsibilities of the registered nurse. In this presentation I'll be discussing the recent changes and their impact on the roles and responsibilities of the registered nurse, a discussion on the NMC, an analysis of the implications of the Code of Nursing Practice, an explanation of the need of effective communication with an MDT setting, and an evaluation of the effectiveness of the MDT approach to nursing. What is a nurse? Regardless of the length of interaction, patients require a nurse as an advocate. Nursing is the practice of caring for and treating patients with respect, empathy and compassion, whilst also communicating to other healthcare professionals their complete requirements. They deliver competent, safe and effective care and promote public health and well-being. A nurse can qualify in one of the four specialities: adult nursing, children's nursing, learning disability nursing and mental health nursing. The roles and responsibilities of the registered nurse. Since Florence Nightingale established the first nursing school in London 150 years ago, nurses have undergone significant changing. Although the idea of compassionate care remains the same, changes in health demands, research and technology have caused a significant shift in nursing roles. Nowadays, the majority of nurses either hold degrees or are pursuing them. This is evidence of the improvement in nursing and the competencies required to become a registered nurse. The National Health Service was founded by Health Secretary Aneurin Bevan in 1948. At the time, nurses were mostly considered to be doctor's aides with minimal responsibility and were almost female. They gained their training in the workplace in hospitals. Soon after the NHS Act of 1946 was passed, universities began to take over nurse training from hospitals, making nursing an entirely graduate-only field. The goal of nursing education is to prepare nurses to support and encourage patients to live better lifestyles. Government statistics showed that many people were affiliated with ailments that may have been avoided with better lifestyle choices, which led to the development of this. Ethel Bedward Fenwick was the first female nurse theorist who led the movement to claim professional standards in nursing, which ultimately led to the development of the Nursing Act in 1919. Fenwick was the first to sign the register. Project 2000 emphasised the need for higher and continuing education for nurses and aims to enhance their skills and offer a higher professional status since the 1990s. There have been significant changes in the roles of nurses. The proportion of male nurses has increased. For example, in 2016 they made up 11.4% of the NHS. More male nurses are a positive thing for patients' preferences, as some men may want to maintain their dignity and be cared for, that is, have assistance with personal care from a male. Additionally, more men are enrolling in the nursing programme every year, as it's no longer stigmatised and regarded as a great job. Government policies and healthcare advice have reconciled over the past 30 years. Patients are now partners and taught to collaborate with their medical experts, sharing responsibility for preserving and regaining their health. Opportunities for the registered nurse have considerably risen as more nurses are choosing to further their education and diversify their skill sets. Nursing has come a long way since being considered a vocation rather than a career. Clinical nurse specialists, emergency care professionals and advanced nurse practitioners are a few examples. Following legislative amendments that gave nurses and health visitors the ability to prescribe in 1992 to 1994, those privileges were later broadened in 1999 to allow other nurses to do so independently. In terms of health promotion and palliative care, that means that nurses could prescribe medication to patients with minor diseases and illnesses. The government expanded a formulary for nurse prescribers by more than 60 pharmaceuticals by 2003, including 2 to 3 controlled medications. By 2014, there were over 54,000 nurses and midwife prescribers in the UK, and this continues to grow every year. Factors that have contributed to the changing of the registered nurse are political, economics, social, technological, scientific, organisational changes, professionalism and policies. The NMC was developed in 2002 in the UK. Nurses, midwives and nursing associates are professionally regulated by the NMC. The NMC establishes professional standards of training, behaviour and performance with a view to safeguarding the health and welfare of the general public. The NMC also ensures that nurses maintain their knowledge and skills by offering ongoing training that adheres to the NMC's professional standards. It is crucial that nurses constantly provide the greatest care throughout their careers to ensure everyone receives the best assistance and care when they need it. The NMC registration contains the names and contact information of every registered nurse. To be listed on the NMC registry, the registered nurse must possess an accepted nursing qualification in addition to being of good moral standing. The revalidation process. 2016 NMC requires nurses to revalidate every 3 years. Each nurse must revalidate their licence to practice and renew their registration. In order to help nurses reflect on and develop their nursing skills and promote best practices throughout their careers, revalidation is essential. In accordance with the law, nurses must adhere to the professional standards under the NMC Code of Nursing and Midwifery. A number of consequences could happen, i.e. if nurses don't uphold their professional standards, a variety of issues and circumstances could develop. Failing to fulfil their duty of care, the NMC then steps in and issues warnings. In the worst case, if a nurse doesn't practice safely, they'll lose their registration pin. And here are some of the revalidation processes. The code. For all nurses who want to be registered and work in the UK, the NMC Code outlines the criteria they must observe. The NMC Code of Professional Standards, which establish criteria based on patients and public feedback and the thoughts of exceptions of healthcare, went into effect in March 2015. The safety of the general population is prioritised by registered nurses and midwives who must uphold the requirements. The Code's 4 main themes are prioritising people, practice effectively, promoting professionalism and trust. Nurses must treat each person with respect and dignity, pay attention to their needs and act in accordance with those needs. Effective communication within an MDT. An MD team's ability to work effectively together to achieve the common objective of providing patient care depends critically on effective communication. An MDT may include a large number of people with various communication styles, which increases the risk that information being conveyed can be misconstrued and cause conflict. In order for an MDT to communicate effectively, the healthcare professionals involved must be able to do so. This must also be able to convey information in a way that is clear and understandable to all team members. They should also engage in active listening with each person to whom they are communicating. An MDT's ability to communicate effectively might be hampered by stress, distractions and various personality types. In addition to interacting with patients and their families on a daily basis, nurses also have a variety of other healthcare professionals with whom they must communicate. Developing strong communication skills is crucial for nurses. Effective communication can occur in a variety of ways, in addition to verbal interactions. When providing personal care, nurses must take into account their body language, tone of voice and facial expressions. Trust can be established between a patient and their healthcare practitioner through effective communication. Effectiveness of an MDT. By bringing together a wide range of abilities and specialities to create a patient-centred care plan, an effective MDT can increase the quality of the treatment provided to patients. The members of the MDT might come from a variety of healthcare fields, including mental health, primary and secondary care and social care. Professionals may include physicians, general practitioners, surgeons, nurses, pharmacists, and other individuals working in fields related to medicine, such as physiotherapists, radiologists and dietitians. An MDT's ability to function effectively depends on the health professionals working on the team being able to communicate with one another clearly and view towards a common objective, which is to get the patient the best desired outcome. All members of the team must respect each other's views and opinions in order to come to a decision. The positive is the patient is able to participate and voice their opinion whilst receiving the best outcome for their needs. Limitation, it may be challenging to reach consensus due to disputes among medical specialists. And effectiveness, numerous professions contribute to decision-making process to determine the patient's optimal course of action or level of care. The summary: it is vital to highlight that both historically and more lately the roles and the responsibilities of the registered nurse have undergone tremendous change due to the continually evolving and growing demands. The NMC are responsible for ensuring a registered nurse is fit to practice by requiring a revalidation every 3 years and working in line with professional standards outlined in the code. It is crucial to remember that communication is a key component of providing patient care and that the registered nurse must be able to communicate clearly with the colleagues, patients and families whilst developing a care plan for the best possible patient outcome. Thank you for listening.